We're here with another episode of Before You Buy. You know that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing? Well, today we're talking about Dark Souls Remastered. This one is definitely going to be more on the first impression side because it is just a remaster, but it is the game that started it all. Well, I mean, sort of. Technically, Demon Souls started it all, but here we are. This is the original 2011 Dark Souls game, lovingly remastered. I'll say that. To me, it really seems like a lot of care was put into not messing things up and unfortunately maybe to some not changing much at all, save for a few little things here and there. The mentality seemed to be, if it ain't broke, don't even touch it. And I'm kind of good with that. Because first things first, on console, it's running 60 FPS. That is something a lot of folks have been wanting, so it's finally nice to just have it implemented right here. It's always a nice thing to have on console games, especially a game like Dark Souls where every single frame matters. Now, I've been playing the PS4 version. The PC, which is pretty much just the prepare to die version, does look like it's having some issues according to Steam reviews, from like cheating issues lingering still to just the game not running for some. It looks like it needs some updates, but I can't confirm that. I just still think you should keep that in mind. Now, back to what I played on PS4, I do want to point out that this is very much still a game from the PS3 360 era. This isn't a complete overhaul, but you get sharper, nicer textures, stronger lighting, and like I said, a better frame rate. That's the biggest thing. One thing I really especially enjoyed was the ability in the options menu to scale the HUD and menus however you'd like. That's a nice touch, especially if you plan on sitting a bit further away on a couch. Now, visually, it looks fine. At times, it looks noticeably better, and at other times, it doesn't. Some textures just still don't totally look that hot, especially in the boss work. Some look totally amazing and are more clear and realized, and some just kind of look the same. But overall, I'll still say it's still a much appreciated, fresh visual update for modern consoles. So if that's what you're looking for, that's at least what you're going to get bare minimum. In some aspects, I think the game shows its age, and that's just mostly in terms of the level design. It's not a big deal. A lot of the stuff just feels a bit smaller, more quaint, and less twisty-turny, while also epic and gorgeous and crazy like the more recent Soulsborne games. These games still have top-notch level design, mind you. I'm just saying that you can tell it's one of the earlier entries. And in terms of the fixes I alluded to earlier, yeah, they fixed the notoriously sluggish Blighttown. It's far more optimized, and the frame rate doesn't suck, so now you'll still probably hate it, but at least for better reasons, I guess. They also fixed some smaller dupes and standard glitch stuff while leaving tricks and shortcuts that are kinda exploits, like the early one in Undead Burg, you know? You can also use multiple items at once now, and you can switch covenants at a bonfire. It's all just lots of nice little upgrades and tweaks like this that go the extra mile and make the game better, especially for folks who got into the series later and are just only now playing this one for the first time. That's big. And if you are playing this one for the first time, man, what a game it is. I will say, after a few years of playing these games, it is fun to go into this one with at least a teeny bit of confidence, and knowing how to play and generally what to expect is kind of liberating as someone who's played other games in the series. Now, even still, it still manages to be pretty freaking rough at times. Obviously, for newcomers, you should know by now that these games are notoriously challenging. However, struggle up that mountain that may seem unfair at first until you reach the plateau and realize that the games require precise mastery, a little luck, and deep knowledge of the environment, enemy attacks, and just the RPG character build systems. And once you finally get going, you will be hooked and love these games, top to bottom, I promise you. I walked away from this series multiple times, but once it finally clicked, it clicked. They are not for everyone, of course, but if you put a little work in, you might find your next favorite series. And with some, this might be the start of it. The original Dark Souls, which is the one where so much stuff took hold in video game culture. The memorable bosses, the dragon, the praise the sun meme. It's all because of this game. It's worth experiencing because there is so much charm, not only in the challenging game design, but also just the strange tone and unsettling and weird atmosphere and bizarre enemy types. While it might at first look like your basic RPG with like a knight and a sword and a shield, you'll soon start to pick up on some of its more Japanese game design quirks and realize it's truly friggin' special. Oh, and while I'm at it, this version also comes with the Artorias DLC, which was very well received, so that's a nice plus, especially if you're just looking for value. You're gonna get a fully fleshed out game here. Along with that, the multiplayer now has dedicated servers, and so far, everything seems good. I hopped in with a colleague and it was pretty darn smooth. That was the morning of launch launch though, so hopefully things still hold up. But hey, that kind of reminds me, this is a bonus too. You kind of get like a reignition of the community behind this game. Like it's back in full force. So if you are looking to play with others in a Dark Souls game, now is definitely the time. And that goes for the whole game. If you have PS4 or Xbox One especially, and you haven't played the original Dark Souls, this is definitely the time to do it. But that's Dark Souls, and this is a before you buy. You know how it works. I give you some pros, some cons, some personal opinions, stuff like that. So now I definitely want to hear yours. I'm sure everyone has a very strong opinion about Dark Souls. They probably have strong opinions about this gameplay because everybody judges everybody really hard. But hey, whatever you're thinking about Dark Souls, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. What's your favorite boss from the original Dark Souls? Also, while we're at it, what's your favorite of the Dark Souls games? Because it seems like everybody has different taste in them. And I will say, if you are feeling chatty, consider going over to discord.gg/gameranx. That's our official Discord. We linked it in the description below. There's a bunch of different channels there to talk up stuff like this. We have fun over there. We do all kinds of stuff, so consider stopping by and checking it out. But if you guys enjoyed this video, clicking the like button is the best way to help us out. We do really appreciate it. And if you are new, you should consider subscribing because we put out stuff like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.